Hello, hi, welcome to my channel Knitting Latvian. My name is Ingrida, and here I talk about my knits. The October has passed, and now it's time for a new monthly podcast episode. And I'm here to tell you about my knittings. Uh, okay, this is also the second time I'm trying to record this podcast because the first one somehow just the audio failed. And anyways, enjoy. I'm hoping I won't miss anything from from the first attempt. But let's start with what I'm wearing. This is my Marseille sweater by Petiteknit pattern. uh, what I made like half a year ago in spring. Now it's the most worn thing in my wardrobe. The yarn I used for this was Drops Lima in the off-white and black color, and it was made with 4mm needles. It's a top-down sweater pattern with drop shoulder sleeves, with some shorter shaping for the arms and also for the body in both front and the back. Okay, let's start with a finished object. Uh, October was a month where I mostly focused on orders, and it's were for somebody else, not for myself. But let's start with the little accessories that I made first. Here is a orange beanie, 2x2 ribbing beanie, and the pattern is from Paulastrickt, and the pattern is called Winter's Essentials. This is obviously the hat. Uh, um, the pattern has also a neck warmer included, gloves, like mittens, and fingerless gloves. All those four things in one pattern, and I started with the beanie. Uh, yeah, so it's made from 100% wool that I had in my stash, with 3mm needles, 2x2 ribbing. It has a Italian cast on, and it has like a setup rows um, for the brim of the hat, and afterwards it turns into 2x2 ribbing until the end, top of the hat, where you make decreases that look like this. Yeah, and the hat fits me um, a little bit in a funny way. It usually has like this tip, or I even can wear it lower, or put the fold of the hat a little bit further, but it's warm. It looks a little bit silly, but I like it. Um, Firstly, I wanted to make it for my husband, but he grabs for another hat that I made afterwards. So I'm wearing this one, and he's wearing the second one. I'll continue with that. The second finished object is right here. This was meant for a Halloween costume for myself. I wanted to be a pumpkin, so I had to make a pumpkin hat. But yeah, my husband grabs mostly for this hat. This is a pattern that I will write here. I don't remember the name, but something pumpkin hat. Yeah, and I just slightly changed the gauge of the hat. I sized up for needles. Uh, I made it with 5.5 millimeter needles, holding two strands of 100% wool from my stash, and I made a roll up edge for the hat. It in the pattern it has one by one ribbing hat, but yeah, I made a different one. But everything else was according to the um, pattern. The ribbing, like the pumpkin sides or pumpkin parts, dices, um, and stem, and also a little curly wine is there. Yeah. It also looks cute on me. Yes, yes, I wore it to my Halloween party that I attended. Yeah. So let's continue with another finished object. That is this massive garter stitch cardigan with these massive bubble sleeves. Uh, yeah, the cardigan is made from top down with like totally straight shoulder. There is no shaping. Just the front is open. I hope you can see the black color. Uh, the cardigan, yeah, it has one by one ribbing all around the edges of the cardigan. Also, the cuffs have one by one. And yes, the yarn I used, yarn I used for this is, as usually I do, Alize Super Lana Midi in black color, or the number of the color is 60. This is the eighth ball there. I use almost 800 grams for making this kind of cardigan. The yarn is mostly acrylic. Only 25 of it is a wool. But for these kinds of massive cardigans, and especially if they're worn during the summertime or uh, late spring, early autumn, um, they're meant as an outer layer mostly. I do make these kinds of cardigans from time to time, and usually they're one size uh, because it's very oversized anyway. Um, I sometimes adjust only the length of the arms and the length of the body. Uh, if somebody wants it longer or arms shorter, but usually they want really long arms, I can do that. But this time I made like a standard length and standard arm length mm, cardigan. So I thought, uh, I made it, but this time it was returned for the first time. Person didn't like what I made. Needles for this is 6 millimeters. I didn't mention that yet. I mentioned the yarn. I didn't mention the needle size. 6 millimeter needles. I think almost everything. Maybe the ribbing was 5.5, or sometimes I don't even change the needle size. It needs to be stretchy anyways. So let's continue. Here I'm holding the next finished object. It's another cardigan. This time it's in white color. It's like hip length, and it has big balloon sleeves. It has 2x2 ribbing all over the edges. It's also made from top down with straight shoulder with this time I did some um, short row shaping, like light shaping for the arms. I wanted to try this kind of method for um, stockinette stitch, and so here again I used 6mm needles, so the net went by very fast. Yeah, the yarn is local unspun wool, Yaru Clubs, and I bought it from Maruma yarn shop. It was the first time I was using an unspun wool. Oh, so this wool, and I was holding it together with a like a mohair cone. It's I don't think this is 100% mohair. It has I think 50% polyamide inside, but it's still very uh, fluffy. I like the fluff that it gives, the sturdiness of the polyamide thread. It gives the strength both for both the strands. Yeah, these two together. It's a little bit see-through with the little fluff like this. Yes. Yeah, a quick knit. So about the white cardigan, it was also an order from my friend. The first attempt for making oversized, big, huge gauge cardigan. She sent me an inspirational photo, and um, yeah, I inspired me, and I grabbed for the yarn I had in my stash for uh, straight away. But as I was knitting it and almost like finishing it, I thought maybe this is not what exactly she wants. Also, the unspun wool has very distinguishing wool smell. Not everybody likes it. I love it. So I'm keeping this. And also, the inspirational photo had like a lace flowers on the arms. So I made also, I crocheted. I also sometimes crochet these kinds of flowers from cotton. Yeah, so I have a couple of those, and they would go very well with this finished cardigan. But because I wasn't sure about the if she will like it, um, they're not sewn on. I think I will make them into just Christmas ornaments because they look also like a snowflakes. So I changed my strategy and I bought yarn for this um, other knit. So another cardigan. I'm holding it here. Another oversized cardigan with the bigger gauge. You can see the uh, yeah, yarn I bought for this is from Drops. What is left over. Drops Melody in color 24. 4 balls of these makes cardigan that is like hip length with the massive again arms. It has an I-cord edging all over, yeah, along the sides, on the bottom, and four cuffs. The arms are again it's like straight with no decreases, only here I gathered with some decreasing the end of the cuff. Maybe I will put even some kind of elastic if she wants. The needle size I used for this was 1 centimeter big, or 10 millimeters. I haven't worked with that kind of gauge, I think. The biggest was before like 8 millimeters, if I remember. But I really like how this yarn knits up. It really is like a fluffy cloud. Those were my finished objects. No more cardigans this time. Yeah, no, I have a whip as a cardigan. Okay, but that's a little bit older whip. You have already seen that, so it's not that. Yeah, not that terrible. Yeah, this is my only whip at the moment because everything else is finished. Yes, I'm continuing on this whip here. This is this is a cardigan number 9 by my favorite things knitwear, and here I'm working on an arm. Yeah, I should change needle size and go and make cuffs, and this arm will be finished, and the same thing will be for other arm. So here I'm using a drop slima held together again with the same cone I used previously for the white cardigan, first white cardigan, yeah. Uh, this it is worked with 5 millimeter needles, and it's made from top down. Firstly, you make these panels for the shoulders on both sides, and then connect them with the back piece, and then make some short rows back and forth, and then pick up the fronts until you connect them under the armpit and continue with the body. Then I made the bottom plackets and the neck edge. Today I received also the buttons. Buttons are here. Um, buttons are here. At first, I wasn't sure if I liked the look of these kinds of buttons, but they grew on me somehow because I had seen many girls either making the same cardigan or uh, other cardigans that have these kinds of buttons. So I thought, okay, I'll try them. Maybe why not? Yeah, why not experiment with buttons? Yeah? So the buttons are here, yeah, and they will go through the little holes. Yeah, the holes for the back pattern are like only this big. But if you like to have bigger buttons for this cardigan, then you should consider making bigger ones, bigger buttonholes. Yeah, this was my whip, and now I'm moving towards my acquisitions. I have a yeah. Let's continue with this. One ball of Novita Nalle sock yarn meant for 3 millimeter needles, or it has 100 grams per 260 meters. Yeah. So yeah, they're meant for 3 millimeter needles. The ball is supposed to provide one sock pair, this whole ball. Yeah, I, and the color number is 641. It's like burned carrot color. Yeah, obviously I want to make socks with these, but I don't know yet what kind of. Next acquisition is 3 balls of these 100% wool from Latvia wool, um, local wool. The color is like a latte color, coffee with milk color, uh, and the number is 262. One ball has 100 grams and also 350 meters, like fingering uh, weight yarn. And here I have this beautiful skein, these beautiful colors. I have actually two skeins of this gradient color yarn. This one is 2-plied. Okay, 2-ply wool. And I think the yardage is the same also, the 100 grams per 350 meters. Again, um, with these kinds of gradient colors, I'm hoping, yeah, I'm going to make a wrap or even a little blanket. If I have these two, I can make even a blanket. Yeah. But until it comes, firstly, I want to finish my already existing whips. Even those I didn't show you in this podcast. I haven't. That means I haven't worked on them during October. It was either started in September or even earlier. So my plan is to finish many of my whips in November. Yeah, I think I have the inspiration for that. Uh, so I want to free my needles. I want to start new projects. This was my knitting journey during October. Um, yeah, maybe you also made something for Halloween. Yeah, you knit or maybe you crocheted or even you baked something. Yeah, you can tell me in the comments. I would like to know that. Um, yeah, and we'll see you in my next podcast.